So guys, in this video, I'll be building this simple project that you can see on the screen. So in this project, I have a image of a t-shirt here, and we are going to build a project where we are able to customize this t-shirt. So here I have an area drawn here where all the customization can be done for this t-shirt. And I have a simple button placed here that is to choose a file from your computer. So in this project, if I want to customize this t-shirt, I can just click on choose file and I can select any kind of image from my PC, and I should be able to place any image here and create this custom t-shirt. So once I have added the image here, I'll be able to move it, rotate it. I should be able to resize it by using all the controls. So we'll be building this project by using a library called Fabric.js in React. So this is going to be a very interesting project. Stay tuned till the end of the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Now let's go to the Visual Studio Code and create this project from scratch. So guys, I have this new React application that is running on localhost 3001. So in this new application, I have placed the image of a t-shirt in my public folder. So that's the image we are going to be using in this project. And now we can start building this project from scratch. So to start building this project, I'm first going to remove all the default code that we have here and put hello world for now. So now we see that our application is running fine. So we can start writing some code here. So the next thing we have to do is to install all the packages that we are going to need in this application. So in this application, basically we need only one package that we have to install. That is fabric.js. So I'm just going to install fabric.js by writing a command npm install fabric. And when you're installing fabric, make sure that you install the latest version of fabric, that is 6.2.0. So I'm just going to install it here and hit enter. So now Fabric has been installed in this project, and I'm just going to import Fabric here at the top. We are also going to need one more import here, that is use ref. So we have to import use ref from React. So that's all the imports we are going to need in this application. And now we can start writing some code here. So here I'm just going to remove hello world, and I'm just going to change this class name to container. Now let's go to app.css and remove all the default CSS that we have here, and let's put some styling on the container. So in this container, I'm just going to say that display is going to be flex, and we are going to make flex direction to column. And let's justify the content to center on this main container. And we are also going to align items to center. And on this main container, we are also going to have a background image. And this background image we already have placed in our public folder. So it's just going to come from the public folder, and that is photo.png. Let's also put a background color as black on this div tag. And if I save this, I'm not able to see anything as of now. But if we give a height of 120 pixels, I'm just keeping the height and width as a original dimensions of the image. So once I assign height and width, I should be able to see my image here, and that is here. And this container is also going to have one more property, that is position. The position is going to be relative. Let me expand this a little bit so we can see the entire image. So if I scroll down, I should be able to see the entire image here. So guys, now image is ready. The next thing we have to do is to add a button here to select a file from our PC. And once we upload a file from our PC, we should be able to see the image here. So that's the idea. So first thing, we'll go to app.js. So here under the container, I'm just going to place a simple input tag. And this input tag is of type file, which is going to accept a file from the PC, and it's going to accept only the images. And if you can see here, I've positioned it absolute because our main container is positioned as relative. So whatever position we are going to give here is going to be relative to the image of a t-shirt that we have here. So now we have an input here. If I click on it, this is going to take me to my PC to select a file. But as of now, we haven't placed any functions on this input tag. Before we add any logic to this, we also need to add a canvas here that can display our image on top of the t-shirt. So below my input field, that is this button here, I'm just going to place the canvas element here. So I'm just going to place my canvas right below my input field. And you can see that this canvas is having a width of 300, height of 300, and I have assigned some styling to it. So this is having a 1 pixel dotted white border around it, and I positioned it absolute again, but this time I have assigned a margin top of 30%, because on the input you can see that margin top is 25%. So I want to place it 5% below my input, and from the left both elements are going to have a margin of 30%. So to make it work, what we have to do is we have to place a on change function on our input field. So whenever somebody is selecting a file, we are going to add a function that is going to be handle add image. And if I save this, we are going to get an error because we haven't defined this function. So here at the top, I'm just going to define a function that is going to be handle add image. So now all the logic that will make the image appear on top of the canvas is going to be written in this function that is handle add image. So guys, before we start writing this function, you can see that here at the top I have imported use ref from React. So basically what we are going to do is we are going to create a reference variable that is going to be canvas reference by using a use ref. And we are going to be passing this reference to our canvas element here. So here I'm just going to pass the reference as canvas ref. So this is basically going to give us reference to the canvas element in this variable. So we will be able to access the canvas inside the handle add image by using this reference. So as this handle image function is going to receive a event that is going to be firing from this input field when user is going to select the file. So basically in this function, we are going to need access to this canvas, which is here. And we are also going to need access to the file that user will be selecting from this input. So in this handle image function, I'm just going to create a canvas object by using a fabric.canvas, and inside this fabric.canvas I'll be passing my canvas reference which I've created here. So this canvas variable will give us access to this canvas inside this handle image function, and to access the file that user is going to upload, we are going to be getting that file from this event by using event.target.files, and we are going to access the first file that user is going to upload. And once the file has been accessed inside this function, we are going to be needing a file reader to read that file. So I'm just going to create a new variable here that is going to be a file reader. And we using this reader, we are going to read the file as data URL. So it's going to be reader.read as data URL, and we are going to be passing the image object, which we have created here. So this reader will be able to read the image and create the URL from that image. We will be able to access this URL once reader is done loading the image completely. So we have to use something like reader.onload. So once the reader has done loading the file, we will be able to access the image URL by writing something like image URL is equal to event.target.result. So that is something that is going to give us access to the image URL. So once we have access to the image URL, which is coming from the reader, we have to use some DOM manipulation to create a new element in the DOM that is going to be the image element. So basically this is going to create a new image tag in the DOM HTML. And once we have created the element, we are going to assign the source to this image as the image URL. So we are going to say image element.src is equal to image URL. So now that we have the new image element in the DOM with its source image as the image that user has loaded using this input file. So now we can say that image element.onload, which means when the new image element has been loaded in the DOM, we are going to run a function. Basically, we are going to do three things in this function. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to create a fabric version of this image element. So I'm just going to initialize a new variable that is going to be new fabric.image, and in this I'm just going to pass the image element. So basically I'm just creating a fabric version of this image element, and now I have a access to the canvas already, which is defined here, and I have been able to load the image, read the image using the reader, and create the fabric version of this image. Now I can just add this image to the canvas by using something like canvas.add image. So once we have added the image, we can also do few operations on that. For example, we can center the object that has been added to canvas, and that is image. So basically we are adding the image to canvas and we are centering the image. And we can also do like canvas dot set active object, which will give us controls to change the image size, dimensions, and rotate the image. So basically we are doing three things when the new image element has been loaded into the DOM. We are adding the image to canvas, we are centering the image, and setting the active object to image. So that's all the operations we need to do on handle add image. Let me save this. And now I can try and choose some file from my PC. So I'm just going to click on choose file and choose a file from my PC. So now you can see that this has added an image to my canvas, and I can resize this image. I can move it within the canvas. So this image won't be visible beyond the canvas. It will be hidden if I try to move it beyond the canvas, but I can adjust it, rotate it, or do any kind of customizations with this image. So guys, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. If you found a value in this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.